Hi guys, today we have with us Dr. Madhvi. She is the director of WeSchool Bangalore. So whenever I think of Bangalore, it's IT hub. And I normally joke around this, if you throw a stone, it most probably will hit a IT engineer. So the moment we talk about Bangalore, so if I want to do my MBA from Bangalore, of course, is a South ka hub. We have Delhi is the capital of India, and then Mumbai is a financial capital of India.
Right.
Bangalore is the technological capital of India.
Yes.
So, is it that only if I want to go for IT, I should come to Bangalore, or there are other opportunities as well?
Right. Hey, thanks for asking that question. So I think it's not just that you will hit an IT engineer. You're also likely that the stone will go and land in traffic. We are also well known for our traffic, apart from the weather, of course, in Bangalore. So I think the trend is changing because I see more number of students now signing up for courses beyond engineering. So, for instance, we have three right now very good design schools in Bangalore. One is a Paris-based design school. We are seeing a lot of courses which have liberal studies and liberal education. So Bangalore now, despite having its name as the tech capital, is also the startup capital. So one thing would be like, not that let's talk about the government which is in vogue, but I would, if I were to classify this as pre-Modi and post-Modi, the number of startups, from 850 have gone up to 40,000. And a good number of these startups come from Bangalore. So I would say that Bangalore is well known for being a startup capital, and lot more students with so many B schools, with a triple ITB here, with IIM, and so much more focus on students who come from a science background, including the Indian Institute of Science. I would say that it is flooding with a lot of good ideas, and would also be well known for being the next startup capital. It already is, but not just the tech-based startups, but the non-tech-based startups. So interestingly, folks, during this entire COVID thing, I think maximum number of cloud kitchens or home-based businesses came out of Bangalore. There were services which people could utilize, and a lot of this I have seen in Bangalore. And this I would translate it to moving on to education also, where you have a lot more opportunities in Bangalore. And on a lighter side, when I ask students from North, or when I ask students from central part of India, saying, why do you come to Bangalore? I've heard them say, that when you come to Bangalore and study, it's like going to the US for us. So even the rate in the dowry market goes up. Well, we don't want to promote that, but that's what I've heard from them.
The infrastructure is good when you come to electronic city,
right?
So you feel like, yeah, you're not you're not like a upper part of India, some special part of India, with all the traffic being controlled.
Absolutely.
One-way routes.
More so, where there are students who have just come to see Wellinkar Bangalore campus, and people who probably are not students, but others who come to see the campus, they say, this doesn't even look like a B school. This looks like a very posh, maybe you could even call it a theater, or you could call one of those event centers, and it looks state of art, just like the companies, 175 companies around us.
True. And the best part, which I like when we come to your campus, is that it's small and it's easy. It's like you feel like home. You don't feel like a typical college type college.
Absolutely. In fact, I like calling this as a boutique campus. One, because the focus on that 270 intake, the number of students, plus the faculty. And I can easily share one thing, that it could be a plus or minus for students who are interested, that most faculty know all the students by their names, which rarely happens in a master's course, because there are students and they don't probably relate with the faculty or the teachers as much as they do in the school. But this being WeSchool, though it's a master's program and it's a PGDM 2-year PGDM program, most faculty here know the students by their names. And we have seen that nice student-teacher relationship going beyond those 2 years also, with alumni wanting to come back. So yes, most alumni who come back say that this place feels like home. We really miss this. So it's a small, beautiful boutique campus. That's how I want to call this. Right. Plus the entire ambience around it, with a lot of greenery. So if you see one side, the classrooms open out to a landscape garden. On the other side, it opens to a beautiful amphitheater. So it's a kind of place where you really want to unwind while you're studying. Right. So it sets the tone for that.
Correct, correct. And being from Bombay, we see the campus are the vertical campuses.
Right.
So there's no place to expand. The only place you can go is up.
Right.
So whenever I go out of Mumbai, so I really find these kind of things, beautiful things, like any plants, like the trees.
Absolutely. In fact, the very first batch of students who were from the business design batch, they had even a name for every tree.
Okay,
And
wow.
because of the rain, some of those boards could have got washed out. But there's a name for every tree which is there. In fact, the when you enter the campus, I'm sure you would have seen that there's a tree to the left-hand side that's been made in our prototype lab, and that tree is our NEEV tree. NEEV is the foundation program that we run. It's a 3-week long program for inducting the new students. So as part of that, students actually write their names on the leaves and they, hang it up the tree, and they could take it as something which they want to achieve
Right.
in those 2 years. So there are a lot of these touch points with the students that we really want to encourage.
Correct.
And I think that goes in nurturing them over those 2 years. Most students who have studied in Bangalore feel that these 2 years were the best years of their life, not just the education, but their life, because they made so many more relationships, the network here, 175 companies. So every weekend we have these corporates walk in to interact with students, talk to them, sometimes take sessions. So the entire vibe is very different in the Bangalore campus.
Right. And I think that's biggest. These are all the advantage of being a small batch size.
Absolutely.
So I always used to think from the placement point of view.
Right.
Small batch size means easy to get a job.
Right.
But we never thought from this perspective also. Okay, there's more interaction with the faculty, more interaction, more time
Yes.
spent with each other.
Absolutely. So that mentoring, for the students become very easy because we are able to align them to the specific learning needs that they have. So if I know that there is a student who will come from an engineering background but does not want to get to IT, and he has interest in a specific, let's say he's taking marketing, but he has a specific interest in joining a banking sector, or he has a specific interest in joining FMCG, we are able to find those mentors and link them up, plus the easy accessibility to this entire corporate crowd around us, and with most of them wanting now to give back to education and to society, that mentoring process also works very well. Plus, you are able to get those practitioners more frequently to the classroom, and with the smaller batch, they also like interacting with smaller batches because they are able to remember these students, and the students also want to have a relationship, a professional relationship in terms of finding mentors for life, right? So that's worked very well here on the campus. So it's not just student teacher relationship, it's also a mentor mentee kind of a relationship.
Right. Ma'am, now when I joined the MBA college, my main goal was to get a job. In fact, that's most of people they have. But have you seen the trend of lately? The trend is shifting towards I want to go beyond placements. I want to start my own entrepreneurship venture.
Yes.
So do you feel these kind of things are coming up with the students, within the students?
Absolutely. I see a lot of it coming, and I see it improving year on year. So I think it's no secret that students want to do a PGDM because they feel the jump is going to be from campus to corporate. I think underlying desire to sign up for a PGDM program is that
Correct.
it offers you a placement. While that's not how the universities in the West work, in India, most of the B schools are able to provide this platform where you get your first job, especially if you're a fresher, or if you're an experienced person, you get a lateral shift to companies, and then you're able to shift sectors. Like I said, many students who join who have 3-4 years experience, the first thing they know is that they don't want to go back to IT. They want a non-IT kind of a placement. But what we've also seen is that many of the students saying that let me try out and let me try and work with a startup, or let me join smaller companies because I really don't want to be, that small fish in a big ocean. And let me also try my hands at venture. So what we have here on the campus is we have our own incubation cell, which allows students and even outsiders to come have their idea incubated, and the venture is able to nurture from here. And then it's a kind of support service. So even if you have moved out of campus, you can still come back and have.
Yes.
In fact, right now I have 2 of my alumni whose ventures are being incubated on the campus. And I'm seeing a gradual shift. In fact, last year we had about 7 students who opted out of placement and who said that we want to do something of our own. So either there's a family managed business or they are wanting to start a venture of their own. So I see that shift is happening. Like I said, we've moved from, in the last decade itself, from 800 startups to now 45,000. So I see that there's a lot of opportunity for young minds. And I think this younger generation is able to take those risks far more in a matured and a balanced way than what it was earlier. They're not scared of failure.
Correct.
So if your first venture doesn't work, I've seen students saying, okay, let me try and take a shot at it once more. So I think what's best about this generation and this new age learner is they're not so much scared of failure. They're willing to take that risk. And I think this 2 years of business management education will surely help them.
Great. Ma'am, so I started my company in the canteen of my college.
Right.
So this is what I advise to everyone. If you want to do something on your own in the future, do it now in the college.
Absolutely.
So these 2 years time, you have the support of your friends, of your teachers. Suppose when I wanted to name the company, so just talk to my teachers. I'm just looking for a name of the company. So whatever you're doing, keep that name. So CET, I was preparing for the exam called CET, training for the CET exam. So CMATking, the name came up. So this is the right time when they should, because now the cost of failure is very low.
Yes.
But once you join the corporate, it's very difficult to quit your job or to manage time for your own this thing.
Very true. In fact, you've just resonated what I tell the students. I say this is like a match practice before you play the actual match. So these 2 years, it's okay to fail. It's okay to, learn things all over again. It's okay to not be okay. Right. So I think these 2 years are very important because this allows you to play those practice matches and then figure out which way you want to go. There's no harm in wanting to have a great job with a big brand and big pay. But at the same time, those who have those aspirations like you to start a venture, maybe from the canteen, maybe from the incubation cell. We also have a prototype lab. Many students want to try out their ideas in the proto lab and see if it works. I think that's what we want to encourage. The other thing which I keep telling the students and those who visit this campus is that each classroom here is not a classroom, it's actually a design lab. So you treat it as a lab where you could experiment with your ideas, experiment with some of the processes, collaborate with people, and I'm sure you'll come up with something very interesting.
Correct. I was talking to all the students. I'm here since morning. So one thing which I felt from them is you have gone beyond the classroom training. You have removed the walls.
Right.
The training, the learning should not end in the classroom. The books is not the end of everything.
Absolutely.
So that's something which I really liked from everyone. Yes, people are now thinking कि नहीं.
Yes, because like that's exactly what I was saying, that the classroom should no longer be a classroom. It should be a design lab.
Right.
So we want to encourage them to really think beyond those four walls because a lot of learning is there outside. So I don't know when you went to the campus, if you've seen the prototype lab, just 2 days back, the students have done the entire wall with Varli painting. The students have done it by themselves. And then, there's a lot more which the student learn from these exercises. So be it the visit which they do a rural visit for about a week. There are those field visits which the students do, plus the place where they stay, the hostels being a vicinity of 1.5 kilometers. So it makes the shift from campus to their, accommodation very seamless. So I have students here who come over the weekends, want to sit here and study. You can use the amphitheater, you can use the garden. There's so much more open space. And I think the best education which they are getting is not just within the classroom, but outside the classroom as well.
Right.
So truly believe in that philosophy.
Great. And I want to end up on a note that I was at a coffee shop. There's a tea point, very small tea point outside.
Right.
And I saw our WeSchool students and corporate people having a smoke or maybe a coffee together.
Right.
So this is there's no boundary left anymore between the corporate world and the school world.
So they interact very closely. In fact, most of the events which happen in Electronic City, our students are there, so are the people from the corporate, and we encourage this kind of healthy relationship because they learn so much from each other. And I think somewhere students also, because the places where they stay, they are actually service apartments where a lot of youngsters from these IT companies are also staying. I think there's a very healthy interaction between them, and they have so much more to pick up. So yeah, truly, like you said, it's education outside the campus, outside the classroom as well.
Great, great. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful talking to you.